Purpose of business is to create and keep a customer. That's what Management Group Peter Drucker had said. How do you sell in new normal? To know more about the code of effective virtual selling, our speaker today is Amit Agarwal, SVP Sales Ergonomy. An IIM alumni, Amit has sold in 23 countries across bootstrapped Series A, B, C, D startups. Amit is author of the book, The Ultimate Sales Accelerator. He has coined the term salespreneur and created a new sales strategy, use case selling. Over to you, Amit.
Thank you, Prasad. Thank you very much. Welcome to everybody. So today we will be covering the code of effective virtual selling. We will be learning 7 accelerators to engage clients and close deals virtually. So before we start, let's start with a question. The question is, in addition to pandemic, which is the one driver for embracing virtual selling? Is it decreasing cost of sales? Is it provides an opportunity to sell anywhere rather than being in a specific region? Or it increases the market reach? Which one is it for you? You can make a note of it. I'll give you some time. Okay, I hope you have chosen one of the drivers. With that, let's move on. Now, before we start these 7 accelerators, let us look at some research on virtual selling. So especially how this virtual selling has evolved after COVID. So if you look at research from McKinsey, if you look at this graph, it clearly shows around 70 to 80% adoption of virtual selling across different areas, whether it is identifying new suppliers, evaluating suppliers, ordering or reordering. So around 70 to 80% transactions are happening in virtual selling. Similarly, this is another very interesting graph which shows that our larger deal size, and larger deal sizes that are mentioned from $500,000 and above, they are being sold. So around 27% of deals are getting closed in virtual selling, which are greater than 500K or above. Let's look at what will happen in future, because the other 2 graphs were on present. So Gartner talks about that by 2025, 80% of all B2B sales interaction between suppliers and buyers will occur in digital channels. So we can see that all the 3 insights from research from Gartner and McKinsey are in line with adoption and increasing adoption of virtual selling. Now, what are these 7 accelerators which we will learn today? So we will take them one by one, but just to recap: video, how to use videos during meetings, annotations, contrast, animations, board deck, short videos, during your sales cycle, and then social selling using service mindset. These are the 7 accelerators, and we will take them one by one. So video on. So you can see video on is basically to humanize virtual selling. The camera is on. Like, for example, I'm speaking right now, my camera is on. So, this is a lot of times, we are not used to doing virtual selling. We're used to meeting people face to face. So switching on the camera, a lot of us are not able to do. But this is the most easiest element of humanizing selling. While it is advisable to have camera on throughout the interaction with the client, it is certainly required in the beginning and in the end. So if we do it in the beginning and in the end, there is a rapport which is developed. And if it is possible, you can do it throughout. I personally like doing it throughout, and to practice it. Now you say how to practice it. Do it in our internal meetings. So whatever internal meetings I have, I will have my camera on, and my team will also have. Because of that, we develop that habit of doing it internally. And now it is very easy for us to do it with clients. This is the one part. The second part is also to use photos. So in certain scenarios where we are not able to use camera for any reason, bandwidth is low or whatever is the reason, we can use photos. Like this is an example where we have used a photo to highlight 6 presenters who are presenting. Of course, we can also do that when the relevant section of the presenter comes, we can put that bigger picture so that people can connect with the person behind. through the picture. So that's the second part of the of humanizing selling using videos or photos. Now let's move to the second accelerator, which is annotations. So if you look at annotations, I'll give you an example to show it. So this is the same question which was asked to you in the beginning of the presentation, correct? Now, how do we use annotations? So there are two ways. One is, see, I have just clicked and there is a rectangle which has come on the point number 2. So where is your attention going? On point number 2, correct? Now that's the beauty of annotations. There is another way of doing annotation which can be done live also. So ideally, if you have a pencil, it is better. If you don't have a pencil, we can do it using a pen also. Let's say, for example, if I had to select point number 1, I will select like this. Like so, or if I have to do a tick mark, I can do a tick mark like this. Correct? So this is an example of annotation where either you can do it before, as I had done in point 2, or you can do it live, as I have demonstrated. What happens is that it builds engagement. It builds engagement also, since you can't see people directly. How do you ensure that attention is on what you want to share? So when you do annotations, attention is maximized and also focused. Now we'll go to the third accelerator, which is contrast. So let's take the same example, of the three drivers for virtual selling, and let us use it using contrast. So if this question is there, where is your attention going? On 1, correct? Because it is in green. Now, let me give another example. Now I have highlighted this using a green color. So when we use contrast, as we know, black and white, so the contrast, our mind is aligned to contrast. We are always looking for contrast, whether it is, black and white. There are so many elements in which human minds likes contrast, and here we are using color. So as you saw, that green color highlighted here is creating a contrast. Another example of this is using gray. So for example, what I have done is the first 2 points I have grayed, and this is the one which normal remains. Now the idea is that using contrast, again, why? You are in control of the narrative. You are focusing the attention of your buyer where you want. So you want in my case, I want you to focus on this point, so I'll grade the other 2, and that is the reason you are focusing here. So that is the idea of contrast. Now, can we build contrast using any other thing? So there is an example of contrast using size also. So we discussed color, now we'll say size. So this is a slide which talks about 3 topics: negotiation, lead generation, and conversion. Where is your attention going? You are equally looking at all 3. But look at what happens now. See, where is your attention going? Your attention is going to negotiation. Why? Because this is a bigger size, and the others 2 are lesser size. So this is another example of developing contrast, where we can use where we can use size to create focus attention of the listener or the buyer. Now this is an example where you can use size and color. So size is bigger, and as you can see, we are also using color of green to clearly highlight the attention on that particular element, which is negotiation. So I hope you have understood the size and the color elements of contrast. Now let's go look at animations. So animations, as you might have seen in PowerPoints, when you click, things come. So how can we use during remote presentations? So first of all, why animation? So in animation, there's so much content available. Slides are getting clunky. There is so much content available that it becomes very difficult for people, even in live environment, to appreciate it. In remote environment, when they are seeing so many decks, so many meetings, it becomes very difficult. So animations comes to the rescue, where in this example, what we are saying, animations helps us build narratives, and for the listener, it makes it easier to comprehend. So let's take an example here, that we are showing an integrated marketing stack where we are showing that these are the various source systems through which we integrate data in creating a growth marketing system. Now, as we get data, we build analytics using different components. These analytics helps in creating different segments, which is also powered by your loyalty system. If you have a personalization platform, in this case Dynamic Yield, then this analytics can bi-directionally talk to that personalization platform. And what we are bringing in is we are bringing in a customer journey orchestration platform, which is taking data from your source systems here and complementing your personalization platform. It also takes data from your loyalty segments, which is coming from your loyalty system. It also interacts with your personalization platform, because inbound and outbound experiences need to be integrated. Together, it is also powering channels like email, SMS, website, WhatsApp. And this together, the loop is going back to your analytical system in this way so that the loop is closed. Now, as you noticed in this example, what I have done is, if I would have presented this diagram like this, it will become overwhelming, isn't it? Directly normal. Now, what we have done is we have broken this diagram into different components, created a narrative around it, and then connected it very nicely. So this makes it very easier for the buyer or listener to comprehend. And from a seller perspective, it makes the capability to create narratives. If I would have not broken it, I would be difficult for me to create a story or a narrative. Once I have broken it into animations, it was easier for me and easier for the buyer. So that's the point number 4. So the point number 5, which is the board deck. Remember we talked about closing deals virtually. This is the one element which helps the most in the closing deals virtually. So the name might be interesting. Board deck. What does it mean? So first of all, why it is needed. So what I have observed in especially in the times of pandemic is that people are not able to buy. Why? Because of lack of a business case. So costs pressures are high during pandemic time, and if the cost pressures are high and you don't have a business case, then how will the buyer who is buying can't even go to his boss for approval. So multiple interactions, whatever I and my team had, we noticed that whenever we reach out to buyers, even though they are interested in difficult times, they are not able to create a business case. They don't have a business case through which their bosses or seniors can approve that. And from our sales organization perspective, my point is, are you helping your clients in creating a business case? And if that is not happening, just by talking to people without having a business case will not qualify deals. So it does both. One is it creates a business case. Another is it helps in qualifying deals, that is this deal worth pursuing? So how do you do? So for that, first we have to ask a question. What will your client champion? You are a salesperson, you are asking this question. What will your client champion present to his or her board to get approval for this project and highlight you as a vendor of choice? Please read this again. I'll give you a second. Now, to answer this question, I came out with something called as a board deck, which the salesperson has to create or co-create in consultation with the client. And the board deck is a narrative that answers 3 questions. What are the 3 questions? First is, why does client need this solution? Whatever is the client name, let's say ABC. Why do client ABC need this solution from you? Why does the client need this solution now? So the client need it, but why does the client need it now? Can it be done 6 months later also? Why now? The third question is, why does the client need it from your company? So if you can help your client create this 3-point narrative, then what will happen? Your client will be able to present these points to his or her boss. The first 2 points are about business value. That why do I need this solution? Why do I need it now? And the point number 3 is that I have analyzed various partners. I need it from this particular company or partner because of these reasons. So if we are able to do these 3 things, now in our sales cycle, because we do in complex B2B sales, our sales owners, or pre-sales owners, they relish creating this document. Why? Because it gives a win-win for both parties. Client is happy that you are helping me create a business case, and the sales owner bosses are happy. Sales owner is happy that they have some meaningful content. They are able to predictably say, no, these 3 questions are answered. Therefore, the predictability of sale is higher. Especially in remote context when you can't meet people physically, that element is missing. Therefore, this element is both for helping people as well as helping your organization. So board deck. Now, point number 6 is about videos. So this is not the videos like I'm talking to you right now. This is what we call as during presentations. This point number 6 is about videos, which is as a part of sales cycle. Can you record less than 90-second videos and share it with the clients? And first, let us look at a question. Why we should adopt video as a tool for engagement? There are 4 options. Please pick one of them in your mind. Number 1, human beings remember visuals better. Number 2, video makes it personal. Number 3, face-to-face meetings in current context are difficult. Number 4, very high reusability. I will give you some time. Kindly pick one of them. Thank you. I hope you have picked one of them. Now, also, let's look at what research says about usage of videos in sales cycle. So as this is a HubSpot research which says communication is 7% words you say, 38% is the tone of voice, and 55% is the body language. You would have observed I am moving my hand, my facial expression during this. 55% is body language. How are you able to observe all of this? Because of video. So the point is that if we create shorter videos, not only it humanizes selling, it also addresses the gap of not being able to meet people physically. So this is one. Now, what is the benefits of video selling? So you can see again HubSpot research which says 60%, 65% of executives visits a vendor's website after viewing a video. 90% of the customers say watching product video helps them make purchasing decisions. 64 to 85% increase in viewers' decision to buy after watching a video, and 75% of late stage prospects receive a personal video message decided to buy. See, personal video message decided to buy, and that too in late stage. So this is helping in closure also. So with this, let's talk about how can we do this? So there are multiple tools. I have personally used 2 companies, Vidyard and Loom. You can go very easy to use. There are free versions also available. There are paid versions also available. Mostly I have used the free versions, but based on your company, you can explore the paid version as well. Like whatever I'm speaking right now in Vidyard or Loom, it can be recorded in any time frame. I suggest 90 seconds because why? Because attention span of human beings is decreasing. It is said that our attention span is less than of a goldfish, and the goldfish attention span is 8 seconds. 8 seconds. So our attention span is less than 8 seconds. So 90 seconds is a time frame where it is neither too big nor too small, and we can use to create a video using these tools. Now, what could be the videos examples? There could be many examples. I'm just giving some of them. For example, there could be a specific feature of the product which you want to highlight. There could be a specific use case which you have implemented at a particular client. There could be a specific client success story which is relevant to that client. So you can talk about what a client benefited. And again, of course, that client should be relevant to the person you are sending. If you have some research element, if you have a research element from an analyst or something which you want to highlight, you can create a video on it. You can also create a video on congratulating people, something I'm not written here, it is part of etc. But if you want to congratulate people on, let's say, they have achieved a promotion or their company have given some wonderful result, or you read an interview from somewhere and you want to congratulate them, that is another. The proposal highlights is another, as mentioned here, that if you have sent a proposal and if you want to highlight certain elements of that proposal, that is another. And then general follow-up, courtesy follow-up would be another. So there is no limit to videos. The key element of video is to cultivate it as a habit. So I tell my team also, it is okay initially to not worry about quality of content, because they say change is difficult. Robin Sharma has said change is difficult in the beginning, messier in the middle, and gorgeous in the end. So any habit which we have to develop goes through this cycle. So too much focusing on no, this has to be superlative content, might be difficult. It may be being a little harsher to ourselves. But if we just say that let me create weekly one video of 90 seconds. So there is so much time. Can we create a video 90 seconds out of so many hours we have? I think that is a good start. Imagine what will happen by the end of 1 month, 4 videos, by the end of 3 months, 12 videos, by the end of 1 year, 52 videos. And I'm sure by then you will be clocking, 3-4 videos per week. So, sky is the limit. So video creation as a habit is the key item. Here is an example. You will see I've graded certain areas because it's a live example from a specific client which I had in the past. So 2018, and you can read this where I'm mentioning it is nice to be connected on LinkedIn. During our meeting in KL, you asked about personalization in pre-login section. I'm sharing a video that highlights how this bank, that Dash customers, is personalizing customer experience on homepage/logout page and driving 4x growth digitally. And happy to answer any questions if required. So the client answers, of course, I've written the name, can you send it to me on my email and I will share with relevant colleagues, thanks. So you can see, the power of video when we say very senior executives, when we share relevant content. In this case, the content was relevant because I was sharing a video of how another bank has implemented what this bank is thinking of. So it was relevant and it gave us a high profile meeting with 25 senior executives in Kuala Lumpur. So this is one example. So we have come to the last point, which is social selling using service mindset. So you would have heard social selling a lot, especially in the past also, and especially during pandemic times. But social selling using service mindset is the element which I believe in. What is the meaning of it? So service mindset is about giving. Normal when we say sell, what we are saying, give me meeting, give me closure. So every time we are asking for something. The social selling, if in my experience, I can only share my experiences. In my field, it's about giving. So for example, this is an example which I just shared with one of the client, which said, as per enclosed picture, Gartner has identified 7 areas for growth marketing and then mapped adoption across 12 systems used by marketers. Interestingly, an organization can cover all 7 areas by focusing on just 3 systems: CDP, personalization engine, multi-channel marketing hub. Now, what I have shared a research which my team created or curated actually from multiple parties, in this case Gartner, and then we created an insight out of it, that there are 12 items out of which there are 12 systems which marketers needs. There are 7 areas of growth marketing, and ideally this can be achieved through 3 systems, not 12 systems. Now, do you notice I've shared it with the person? Did I ask for anything? Did I say, give me a meeting? Did I say, let us talk together? No. That is the point. When you are in giving mindset, it is a human nature. When you give, the other person will also give. It is a human nature. Unfortunately, in sales, it doesn't work, because by culturally, it has been told, no meeting, no this. In fact, the word social is very important. Social selling meaning how you are talking to your friends. When you talk to your friends, you talk not for giving something. That same element, if we cultivate in social selling, which is service mindset, it will help us. I am also using this opportunity to share a template on LinkedIn, because social selling is on LinkedIn. So this is the template which I have used for several years, and I have a very high conversion rate of acceptance of LinkedIn connections. So this is where I say, dear ABC, we have common interest in dash and dash, and look forward to mutual learning and sharing on LinkedIn. With regards, Amit. Now, why do I say dash and dash? Because see, people like people who are like themselves. That is a simple thing. If you do not have any common interest with other person, why will person accept? So if you have common interest, why will a person not accept? He will surely accept, you know. So this is a template. I will give you two examples of senior executives. So one is, as you can see, Tarun, who is MD and CEO of Bajaj Alliance. So 2017, I had said we have common interest in insurance domain and in driving growth via digital channels. And same thing, look forward, accepted. And there is Harish Bhatt, very senior person in Tata Group, also a best-selling author. And I wrote to him, we have a lot in common. We both are from IMA, both are authors, and even there is a common connection in Penguin as a publisher. Look forward to mutual learning and sharing on LinkedIn. So if you notice, the template here is not we have common interest in insurance. We have common interest in A or B and B. But the point is still same, because we are highlighting commonality. IMA, authors, Penguin are the commonalities. When we have commonalities among people, people think, the other person is like me, and they accept. So we have covered this 7 accelerators. Just to summarize: video on during meetings like we have it on right now, annotations, bringing the attention to a specific point, contrast, again, creating a focus on what you want audience to focus on, animations, creating good narratives and also making it simpler, board deck, qualifying deals and creating a business case, short 90-second videos to continuing engagement, after the first meeting, throughout the sales cycle, and social selling using service mindset, harnessing giving as a mindset rather than taking in social selling. So my question to you is, can you please take a moment and identify top 3 among 7? All 7 are important, but the more we focus on small, it becomes easier. If you could please identify top 3 which resonate most with you for virtual selling. I will pause for a moment. I hope you have identified top 3. My wish for you before I end the presentation is, may you create epic sales using virtual selling. Lot of best wishes to you, and Godspeed. Thank you very much.